Okay, so I'm making a video just to show you guys this piece of furniture that we inherited from Sarah's grandmother. It's actually originally owned by Sarah's great-grandmother, so you're looking at maybe late 1880s, 1890s. So it is quite old. It's all hardwood. I'm not sure what, maybe oak, elm, something. It actually reminds me a lot of the piece that you guys have, that hutch that you got from Grandma from the farmhouse. It carries a few of those same characteristics. It's got that decorative molding on the front there, and then it's got some up top. From what I understand, this is a, I guess, stationary desk. The original, I guess, latch and lock that sat here is gone, and instead it looks like they've cut through and incorporated a lock and key that it does work, not very well. You know, it definitely needed to have some sort of jam installed. I think maybe I found that piece lying around somewhere. I don't think that these chains that are holding it in place are the original, and this piece, I have a feeling it shouldn't be hanging on an angle like that, and if it was, there should be a support piece at the back. So it does need a little bit of work to get it back up to where it was, and I'm kind of hoping that you guys could maybe look into it, that research with that history of Upper Canada furniture, maybe see what stuff was actually used, what sort of piece would have been used at the front to latch it in place, and if that's even available anymore. And I'll get you a close-up of some of the other features that have been fixed, so to speak, but roughly so. So there's a few pieces just kind of underneath here where I think this originally pivoted here and on this side, and they've instead replaced with two screws which now act as the hinge joint, and possibly there was something at the back actually holding this in place. I'm seeing two fairly new screws sticking out at the back as well that don't seem to match up with the style. So I'll give you a close-up of what I'm seeing here. So you can kind of see here where there was a hole. There is one on the opposite side, and I'm not sure if you can pick it up on the camera, but there's a lot of scratching, almost as if stuff was rubbing up against. And I have a feeling that that was probably from whatever device they had used inside of the sides here to help it hinge on that point. Now instead, they have a screw, just a slot screw on this side, holding it in place. Now, I'm not sure if it's even possible to use these holes again. My feeling is that when they did use it, they assembled the this drop-down piece here. They probably assembled it together so that it was kind of all molded together. But hopefully, I'd really like to be able to restore it to its original function and possibly add a bit more strength to it so that it could be used as a stationary desk once again. And here you can see just where this piece, where I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be on an angle, although that is a feature I've seen in other pieces. You know, it's usually if the piece is, you know, designed to be up higher. This particular piece requires that it be tight butt up against the back paneling of the piece. And I noticed that somebody tried to fix it with some screws along the back here, which is definitely a no-no, especially because all of this is very nicely mortise and tenon style slide in place. You know, they've gone the extra mile to actually make sure this piece itself is secure. So I really think that it should be butted up against there. So didn't think of any solutions, maybe to have a cross piece down here that is screwed up in and then screwed to the back to kind of tether that in place. Would probably add a lot of strength to it. That's my 2 cents anyways on it. And then the final piece that I think needs a bit of an upgrade is, you can see here, they've got a chain kind of holding it in place, and this is more than likely not the original chain that came with it, for obvious reasons. Those chains typically went to rust and stuff like that, and brass was too soft. So this piece was probably added as a repair as well. These hooks actually might be the original. I've never quite seen anything like that, but the one kicker that I think really needs to be fixed, I'll try to zoom in to get a better look at it, is you can see they it's hard to tell, but they actually threw in a screw. Just all it is a Phillips or a Robinson screw, and it's just a little one of that, tacking it in place. So it doesn't offer very much structural support, especially if you were using this as a stationary desk. You wouldn't want to be leaning on it too heavily, because you would definitely end up breaking it pretty quickly, whether that be snapping the chain or stripping the wood screws, that sort of thing. So it's a beautiful piece. It's got a lot of potential, and I'm hoping that you have some ideas as to how to kind of restore it back to its original beauty. The finish is perfect. It's, I think, just a few of the more functional aspects of it. Let me know what you think.